Welcome, everyone, to an episode of the Behind the Scenes part. Today, we're going to take a look at all of the figurines that we have on the table, all of which I've 3D printed. My name is Mike, and I'm a professional counselor in the state of Delaware, blah, blah, blah. You guys have heard that on other videos. Today, I'm just happy to be able to share some close-up images of these objects that we have on the desks. I put a lot of hard work into them, and I really appreciate the fact that you guys like them, you engage with them, and you help me pick out what to print next. So enjoy this little episode of the behind the scenes part. This first object we have is the Murder Part logo sign. I designed it entirely to convey the murder part of the murder part, so to speak, using the old school chalk outline, a magnifying glass, and of course, the bloody words murder. This object, as we can see, is a gray alien. I created it after we came up with a name for Alien Lizard Humanoids, our other show, where we discuss things like cults and aliens, lizards, and humanoids. Oh my. This little guy is the lizard from the part of the Alien Lizard Humanoids. I like this guy because he's kind of cute. And I think I did a really good job painting him. And I feel good about the way he looks and the way he came out. This is just a shot of the backside of the lizard, so you can see a little bit better. And I'll even tilt him up a little bit so you get a better look at the paint job on his back. This model is actually a 3D rendering of the Vitruvian Man by Leonardo da Vinci. I chose it to represent the humanoid part of Alien Lizard Humanoids. I think it does the job pretty well. Now, this particular model is a spilled bottle of skin cream. And I chose this to represent one of our very first Murder Part episodes, Betty Broderick. She was sent advertisements for skin cream, supposedly, by the new wife of her divorced husband. And so I felt that this encapsulated the essence of her story. This very large object, of course, is a syringe. It's very difficult to get in the shot that I have here, but it represents the Bhagwan Rajneesh story that we covered, our very first alien lizard humanoids, because there was an attempt on the Bhagwan Rajneesh's doctor using a syringe filled with poison. So I made this one. This little object is my own rendition of a pop fig head for Ronnie O'Neill, Murder Part number 2. But I think it encapsulates Ronnie O'Neill. Also, I make no claims on any intellectual property related to Ronnie O'Neill, nor do I make any claims on any properties related to pop figs, although I do enjoy a good pop fig. I just thought this would be a good way of representing that case. And this plain red pickup truck is actually in honor of the Gary Ridgway case that we covered. The means by which Gary Ridgway was finally caught happened to be through descriptions of his red pickup truck. This is a stylized set of golf clubs, and it represents the Scott Peterson case. Scott was an avid golfer, and initially claimed that he was going golfing on the Christmas Eve when his wife went missing. He was also caught on his way to a country club to play golf with his brother and father. So I think that this pretty well encapsulates Scott Peterson. This bow tie was made in honor of the Jeff Pelly case. Investigators who worked on that case surmised that Jeff wanted to go to his senior prom so badly that he ended up killing his father, mother, and 2 sisters. The bow tie represents the tuxedo that he would have worn to the prom, and thus the supposed motive for that particular case. The old classic giant nose, mustache, and glasses. This actually is in honor of the Betty and Barney Hill case. Barney Hill claimed that the aliens that abducted them had fake noses, and we made quite a bit of fun at that expense in our episode that covered Betty and Barney Hill. This white van was created in honor of the Gabby Petito case, a very sad case with missing Gabby Petito, whose remains were since found, and Brian Laundrie, her fiance, who his remains were also found. Messages in his journal indicated that he was responsible for Gabby's death. The two had been traveling across the country in a white converted van for their van life. So this van is in honor of that case. Nosferatu, from the movie Nosferatu, one of the early vampire movies, based on Bram Stoker's Dracula, but loosely and altered so that it didn't infringe on some copyright issues. But the Nosferatu is in honor of the Rod Farrell case, because Rod believed that he was a vampire. Having played Vampire the Masquerade, I can tell you he definitely wasn't. But this little figure definitely is a creepy Nosferatu. This ballerina represents the Shayna Hubers case. Shayna Hubers famously danced in the interrogation room, doing pirouettes and singing to herself about how she did it. So, ballerina. This is a catch, a blue catch for the Bluebell case that we covered. Tragic murder on the high seas down in the Caribbean. I'm pretty proud of this model. This particular figurine is a unicorn wearing patterned leggings. It represents the Lularoe case. They're very famous for having limited pattern leggings that were considered to be unicorns because they were really rare. So this particular unicorn is wearing black and patterned leggings. This model is representative of the incendiary device used by John Orr when he was setting fires. It's in honor of that case. This actually took quite a bit of doing, and I took some very close looks at the file photos of the incendiary device to try and draw from to be able to create this particular model. These messed up teeth are representative of Richard Ramirez, who famously had very, very bad teeth. And I'm sure that this model doesn't do anywhere near the kind of justice to how bad Richard Ramirez's teeth actually were, but it is kind of messed up. I'm definitely glad I don't have teeth like this. This cowboy hat with blood on it is representative of the Rust case we did, where Alec Baldwin accidentally shot and killed one of the cast members. This is our dumpster fire. It represents the Kyle Rittenhouse case. When he was initially attacked, he was said to have been fighting a dumpster fire. And that entire case was just a dumpster fire. So I think it's a very appropriate model. Some of the objects on the table aren't actually related to any of our cases. So I'm going to share some of those now. This is our knife stabbing into a blood pool. It's a very large model and one of the more visible ones on the table. But I had a lot of fun making this. It's got a good splat. Because we have an alien on the table, it had to get here somewhere. So this is his spaceship. He's probably trying to pick up a cow or something, or abduct Betty and Barney Hill. Since we talk a lot about guns and bullets, I wanted to create a 3D rendition of what a bullet looks like so that we could reference it. And I have it on at least one occasion. The internals of a bullet look very similar to this. I've actually gotten quite a few questions about this particular model because it's very difficult to see when it's not up close. But it is all of the weapons from Clue, the board game, or Cluedo. This is just a skull with an axe in it. Not representative of any case, but I thought it was nice. And I really like the splintering that I put in on the top of the skull. This is an old school movie camera. I made it for Dr. Grande because, well, back in grad school, which is a long time ago for us, we used to make a lot of YouTube videos. We made movies, and we enjoy talking about movies. Obviously, we talk about them every episode of everything. Movies are a big thing. So, movie camera. This is probably the single largest model that I've ever made, and I made it for the table. It is simply a gravesite. Random grave somewhere for someone. But it's not representative of any particular case. It could be any case or every case. Those of you familiar with the movies and our so far only episode of the movie part that we've put up, this is a DeLorean time machine and its fire trails. Usually sits on the desk in front of me, but it's been finding a new home. I'm really proud of the way this model came together. The fire trails, actually some of my proudest firework, so to speak. That's just a quick view of the models that we have on the table, a little bit closer up so that you can see them a little bit better. If you have any comments, questions, please leave them in the comment section below. We'll try and answer questions on future episodes of the murder part or alien lizard humanoids or other episodes of the behind the scenes part, or maybe we'll even do another question part at some point. Until then, take care. I hope you enjoy the models, and you'll see more of them coming up.